Sophia and thank you to another episode of So Zoom In. Today we are going to be zooming in on a fantastic screenwriter and artist, a fine artist. And before we do that, I would love for you guys to please hit like and subscribe, because I would like to get my numbers up, because so many of you are watching. It'd just be so cool to have you as a subscriber as well. Anyway, so I'm going to let in Matt DeGenarro. And let's see if we can get started here. Thank you so much, Matt DeGenarro. Am I saying your name right? I always feel like I always say DeGenarro. That's very
cool. Yeah, that's good enough.
Well,
but the Italian is DeGenarro.
DeGenarro.
Gennaro.
DeGenarro.
But English is DeGenarro.
Oh, I like your way better. I like your way better. All right, Matt DeGenarro. DeGenarro. I like that.
My name formally is Matteo Michele Alfonso DeGenarro.
That sounds so beautiful. Wow.
That Italian prince, you know.
I love it. That's great. I love it. Well, welcome well, welcome so very much to my show, So Zoom In. It's great to have you. You are in Oregon, right?
Yes, I'm in Portland, Oregon, and it's 115.
What's up with that? It's supposed to be raining there, right?
No, it's 115 degrees. Everybody's passing out, falling down. You know, I'm used to it. I lived in the desert. I lived in Florida.
Right. That's
like people here are not used to it.
Wow.
I have a friend. Go pick up a friend at her house. She was passing out.
Oh wow.
An older woman, you know, no air conditioning, you know, none of that.
Oh wow. That's I'm sorry. Well, summertime, right?
Yeah, but at least I got AC, so I'm cool.
Well, Matt, you're just cool anyway. You're just so cool.
Well, I don't know.
And what I love is, you know, you're creative in so many ways. You know, you're a writer and you're a visual painter. You know, and so you just.
You see the one back there?
I'm sorry. What's that?
See the painting over my shoulder?
That looks like a Mark Rothko.
Yeah, that's the sunset here.
Oh, okay. See, and here from this view, it looks like a Mark Rothko painting. So that's beautiful.
That's me. I have to do, see on the bottom half of the painting. Okay. All you see when you look out at the sunset are the leaves from the trees, and they go like this.
Right.
I'm going to put them all in, you know, and then the painting will be finished.
Cool. Now, what's this other painting to the side of you?
Well, that one is one I did in Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's beautiful. That looks beautiful.
You know, I'm doing the floral show, you know, but I'm not doing flowers anymore. I'm going way beyond that now.
Oh, good.
You know, I'm trying to create stuff that's more than beautiful.
Right. And pulls the viewer in. Well, that's one thing I noticed about your work. It really does pull the viewer in. When you are painting, you're obviously telling a story. Is it a story that you have in mind, or do you just kind of let it develop as you go?
I have an idea of how I want to show the flowers. See, they're all of those flowers I grew.
Oh, okay.
From my gardens, you know.
Oh, beautiful.
My wife, who's deceased, was a great gardener.
Yeah.
Well, she passed away in 2018. You know, she was a nice girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you keep the flowers, right? But you keep the flowers going on, right?
I keep gardening as much as I can. I'm in a new place now, so this was a rental that we had. A big, huge rental with a view of the Columbia Valley and the river and the mountains. You know, so that's right. I'm doing a series of about 10 of those. Right. The mountains in some of them, and, you know, it's just beautiful, all the different colors.
Oh, beautiful. Well, it's very inviting. It's very inviting. Now, what inspired you to take up painting?
Well, you know, I'm a writer by profession. Mm-hmm. And you know how difficult, I'm also a general contractor by life, being in Italian, you know.
Right.
So,
All right.
I got sucked in early. My family had a big construction company.
Okay.
They built hospitals, bowling alleys,
Yeah. The
hotels.
creation, it's part of the creation of creating new stuff, right?
Yeah, so I used to paint. I started painting in the 60s
Mm,
to relax,
nice.
to be totally absorbed in something that was just me and
Mhm.
no one else, Because
Right.
when you're contracting, it's always people, 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 people. Either working people
Mhm.
for the customers, And it was nothing but difficulty, problem solving the whole way.
Right.
I took a painting to save my soul.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Well,
And the writing, though, is my thing.
well,
I'm a screenwriter.
right.
That's
You've had quite a bit of success with that too. I mean, even at AOF in 2019, you were Screenwriter of the Year, right? You received that award. So that's
well, I got awards from other places too,
right, of course. Well,
But
okay.
I in the way back when, I used to write treatments
Mhm.
for Tony Conforti in Manhattan. Tony Conforti was a very fantastic promoter. He's the guy who launched Danny Aiello's career. And I did one of the major movies. I was an idea man, the treatment writer.
Right.
I never wrote scripts. See, I only wrote treatments. I was an idea man. And I wrote the idea that became Fort Apache, the Bronx.
Right.
Originally, and nobody knows this, originally it was called Hostage in Hoboken.
Oh, I like that title.
Yeah, I liked it too, but the boys in New York at the time, the union wouldn't allow them to come over and film in Hoboken, right across the river. They
Really.
couldn't do it. So they decided to make a big project about the Bronx. So the writer took it, they got all the credits. They made a book, they made this, that, the other thing.
So how come they didn't want you to write? If you came up with the idea and you wrote the treatment, how come you didn't write?
I wasn't a screenplay writer. I was an idea man. That was my job.
So when did you develop into writing screenplays for yourself?
Well, I started back then, but I was not that good. It took me years to develop the craft where I could put something out there that
Right.
would work,
Well, you're doing, and what's so great about screenwriting is you could do it forever. There's no stopping as long as you have the desire to.
That's right. When I retired from construction, and then I got more active in the screenwriting. I
Right.
wrote a couple of novels. I didn't like that too much. I'm not a psychological writer. I'm a visual writer.
Right. Well,
It fit-
so what's your favorite type of genre to write?
Believe it or not, I like number one, true stories. Number two, sci-fi.
Sci-fi, right?
That's what I like. That's what I like. Number three, crime. I love writing crime stories.
Wow.
I did one for Frankie Severo. It
Mhm.
was, it was in 2008 and everything crashed at that time. So it
Right.
never really was called Tough Guys.
Okay.
The TV. I wrote for him. And I'm doing another one for him now for Rami, Rami that played the angel.
Right.
I'm doing a Christmas story, an Italian Christmas story.
Oh, that sounds nice. Well,
But it's more than that. It's a feature film. So,
right. Well, Christmas stories always do well. I mean, especially really good ones. So,
yeah, this is a really good one.
oh, good, good. Well, have you ever incorporated all three genres that you like together into a story?
It comes out sometimes, but I like to be specific and be detailed.
All right, good.
I just finished one now. See, I wrote a book. Let me show you this. This was the original cover. It's called Crossroads.
Oh, cool. I like that. Nice.
It was, we didn't use this because this was wrong. See, that was a triangle,
Oh,
the black triangles they talk about in
yeah.
California.
Wow.
Well, had my car zapped by them because I refused to fly with them. It was the secret U.S. space program
Right. Called.
solicited me in '81. I said no.
Why'd you say no?
Because it was a 10-year flight. And I had a business, and I didn't mind. I had a life,
Right.
But it really pissed them off saying no.
Huh.
So I wrote a movie about it. It's called Double Edge.
I like that. Very cool. And wow, where's that at now? Is this in
It's finished.
okay, have you had anyone read it yet or
No.
not yet? Do you want to? I mean, do you want to give it to somebody, start
You
getting
want to read it?
yeah, I want to read it.
Oh, good. I'll email it to you. I'll send it PDF.
No, I definitely want to read it. Well, it's so UFOs. I mean, I think there's more and more disclosure coming out now than ever before.
Back then, and this is I had nothing to do with it. I mean, they took over my car just south of Santa Barbara,
right,
Highway 101.
right.
Went down a hill. All of a sudden, it shut down the car, and it was driving itself.
Wow.
It drove down into this. It was in Goleta, and it drove down into was like a gas station and a cafe and a bookstore.
Oh, wow.
And it got really strange after that. We went up. I was with a girl. We went up to have lunch in the cafe because the car was dead.
Right.
The mechanic said, "Go get something to eat. By the time you come down, everything will be all right." But the guy looked strange. He had strange eyes. He was an alien.
Right.
There's a whole colony of them living in California.
Yeah.
They've been here a long, long time. They're not new.
Right. Yeah.
So they're the ones that are behind the secret space program. They work with the U.S. government.
Right.
So this was a Starship crew that solicited me at that lunch. And I said, "Look, I have to say no. I can't go for 10 years. It's just not me." They got really angry.
The woman who was with you.
Okay,
so you said there was a woman with you. Was she asked also, or were you by yourself, or?
No, they asked the both of us they wanted to go.
Was she freaking out, or?
Oh yeah, she was freaking out.
So how?
So was I. What are you kidding?
So I mean, how did it make you feel? I mean, this sounds.
Well, I felt, in a way, I felt honored that they chose me.
Right.
Whatever the reason, but the reason's in the book. I don't want to give it up.
Right. Right.
And in the screenplay, and I said no, and I got out of there. I got my car. They gave me my car back. But what they did was they chased me up the coast, and they hit me in Oregon. It was revenge.
What did they? I mean, how did they do that?
They killed my car.
So,
they flew over with their spaceship or whatever, the triangle, the black triangle.
Right.
The TR-3B they called it.
Right.
They came down over my hood and completely disintegrated my engine.
Whoa. Yeah.
So, what's short of shooting the cowboy, what's worse is when you shoot the cowboy's horse.
Right, exactly.
They shot my horse, my car. There was nothing I could do. See, that's
strand out
my car, brand new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Wow.
And there I was sitting on the road in Ashland, Oregon, in the middle of nowhere,
So what did you, and you were alone at this point, or was that woman still with you?
He was still with me. We were on the way up to Seattle together from New Jersey. We drove across the country,
So what happened to her? Do you guys, I mean, when you guys got back to
married her and divorced her.
All right, how long were you guys married?
About 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. So,
Yeah, she had other plans, you know.
all right, but I mean, something like that sounds really like a significant life-changing event, would you say, or just
I
some,
think it changed her. She became a psychiatrist. You know,
okay.
now I've communicated with her and she's just gone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like lost in the wonderland.
So has this race ever approached you again, or these?
I've been in contact. I
Um,
was in contact 4 years ago on the way back from AOF. I stopped at their base in
oh,
California. I know where they are, but I'm not at liberty to say who they are.
okay, all right, because I know,
Under pain of death.
well, I know there are several people out there who talk about them, like David Wilcock and um, several others like him, and they talk about the different groups. And I know the triangle spaceship I've heard quite a bit about, where I actually heard someone say that it was, oh, was it, that's right, 115 degrees. They actually said that the triangle UFO was actually part of the US government. That this
Yeah,
was,
see my ship. The
yeah,
crew was human.
okay,
The captain solicited me. She needed a guy. She wanted they knew me by name. They had my whole,
everything.
oh yeah, it was down pat. You should read this. This is,
I can't wait to read it. I will, now I'm very excited to read it.
yeah, that's not all, that's only part of the story.
Right, which is
I went from being a down-to-earth general contractor to
right.
the supernatural guy.
I love it.
Supernatural. And all after that moment in California, all kinds of weird stuff happened in my life.
Weird stuff in a good way or weird stuff in a bad way?
The good way.
Okay, good. As long as it's good.
Yeah,
What,
it woke me up to a whole new world,
right?
you know, to write about.
Right. And you're meant to write about it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you're going to write a lot more about it too, that this script is really just the beginning for you.
It's just the beginning. Well, I have 100 of them, you know.
Right.
I have 100 scripts. I do a lot of writing.
Yeah, but not, I mean,
It's for other people.
right. Wow.
It was an understudy for Louis LaRusso, wrote for De Laurentiis.
Uh-huh.
If you look him up, you'll see. And I
Wow.
did a lot of rewrite for him because I was educated, you know. But he was good, you know. I don't deny Louis. Louis was great. And he took me along under his wing, you know.
Right.
See, I was the youngest in the group.
Uh-huh.
They're all 6 or 7 or 8 years older than me.
Okay.
So being on the bottom,
Right.
I had little power, but all the skill.
Right. And learning everything.
They had the power. So what I did was I had to work for cash
Okay.
and not credit. So I never got credit. I never went that way. I always worked for the money. That's how I bought houses. I got, you know,
All your stuff.
did lots of things. You know.
Well, if you were to do it again, would you?
I would still go the same way. You know, although in this part of my life, I'm 78. I don't mind a little,
Credit.
yeah, a little credit, you know,
A little
kudos.
claim. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
bravo.
you know, why not?
Right.
Why not? You know, Sophia, why not? A little
Right.
bit, you know.
Yeah. Well, cool. You've done a lot, and what a great experience to have something like that. To be the type of soul, if you will, to be approached and asked. Because I would think they just don't ask anyone. I mean, they obviously saw some little good in you to even ask you.
Yeah, well, I was a contractor. You know, they needed maintenance crews, I guess, out there on the bases. They have bases all over the solar system.
Yeah, I heard that people actually get picked up and go without being asked. They have no choice.
Well,
But
they did that later on, I understand. You know, they stopped asking.
yeah,
You know, because asking, you know, the average dude, when he finds out he's got to give up his life and be flying for 10 years in the darkness of space, and in a war with whoever they're at war with out there,
Right.
but there's a war going on.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah. That's how it was given to me, to understand it. That's how
Right.
they explained it to me, But I said no. So my log line is, if you're solicited by the US Secret Space Program,
Right.
don't say no.
Well, what happens if you say yes, though? I mean,
It's a choice, you're gone. Bye-bye.
yeah, I would think for some people who don't, who don't really interact well with people here, who, always are looking for that next adventure, that sounds exciting, So does your script go into the what if?
Yeah, of course. This is why it's called Double Edge.
Sounds exciting. Well, it just seems like there's so much is happening and so much more is coming out, and people are really waking up to knowing that these what ifs could very well be,
Well,
so
I wasn't a believer until certain things happened in my life, which are all in here. And I don't want to reveal them too much because then it takes away from the power.
Well, and this is your story, and it deserves to be, made into a film. So
it does,
yeah. Well,
some are made, some aren't,
So, okay, so the whole filmmaking process, do you like to be involved in it, or do you just like to write and hand it off?
Up to this point in my life, I just wanted to stay in the background and be a writer.
Okay.
But I finished for Mark Goldman, who's a producer in New York.
Right.
And I did a comedy for him.
And what was that?
Nuts for the Knots, the garlic knots,
Uh-huh.
And there's a role in there that I'm going to play.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm going to play a Jewish gangster named Uncle Bunny Money.
So is it a small role or a big role?
It's a major role.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a good role. And it'd be fun, and I can do it. I'm from Jersey,
Yeah.
I grew up with all the gangsters. I know the talk. I know the walk. I know the talk.
Well,
but
yeah.
I was educated, fortunately for me.
Right.
You
So this,
got my resume.
What's that?
You said you got my resume. Did you get
Yes, I did. Yeah.
I'm sorry for the, see, I take this medication that makes me a little scatterbrained when it comes to.
Oh, it's fine. It's
I did the best I could try to remember what.
Well, it was
but
great.
a lot of things that aren't on.
Well, I was able to write a nice little press release, so I think it was good. So I'm grateful. Thank you. But so I think it's great. Here you have this background with the mafia, being around it, not necessarily in it. I guess I bet you've seen a lot of stuff go down.
Unbelievable.
And then having this other experience with this whole other side that people don't really talk about or haven't talked about, but are starting to talk about.
You know why? Because they're afraid. See, when you're revealed the truth, all of the belief systems crumble.
Right.
That's what happens. And they're afraid. See, the reason they don't publicize anything and they keep everything quiet, except, on TV, they'll have these programs like Ancient Aliens, but they cover it all up.
Mm-hmm.
The aliens are basically they're in control. It's not the 1% that's in control.
Oh, yeah.
The extra deities are in control. They're much more powerful.
Right.
They have technologies that are so far advanced. See, right now, the TR-3B that I saw over my head, big as life, and talked with the Starship crew and the alien. I knew the aliens. They had 2 aliens that flew with them, and
that looked just like people, or what's
they look just like people. But you see, I'm a clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm.
I was born with the sights. So I saw through their deception. I could see who they really were. And they're humanoids, but they're not human.
Right.
They're almost human.
But not quite.
We're in their image, but they have bigger eyes. They have different
hair.
Hair. They have their
Right.
bodies are a little bit different. Their fingers are a little longer. Stuff like that. See,
Were they tall or short or?
their arms don't bend like ours do. They're different. But I don't want to get into that too much.
Wow. But how exciting though to be able to see something like that, because it opens up a whole new dimension for your writing, which had you never had that experience, you never
wouldn't be able to write about it, no?
Right, exactly. And so
that's what I think. All of that stuff, I have to say that all of that stuff that happened to me, all that strange stuff,
right.
is just to advance my writing career and to allow in some way for the people to understand what the truth is.
Exactly. And I think, when we have these TV shows like Star Trek and, Star Wars, I mean, I think that, the writers that were all kind of given experiences or I think something to write that, it was all not just by coincidence. I think it was all kind of planted for a reason.
I think so. Some of the guy on television the other night, they had one of the programs about the UFOs and stuff, right?
Yeah. And
the head of Lockheed, who was the CEO of Lockheed, actually came out and said that today we have stuff, the US has stuff that makes Star Wars look like 1925. You know what I mean? Primitive.
Wow.
That's how advanced everything is now.
Wow. Do you think we as a people will ever see that technology?
Yeah, we have it.
But, us, the general population.
Oh, no, they're not going to, they'll release it in dribs and drabs.
Okay, like the iPhone.
Yeah. Things keep building, and the knowledge and the consciousness is opening up to it.
Right.
But very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Because all your beliefs, the religions, all that kind of stuff fall right apart.
Right.
When you find out God is an ET.
Well, it's so interesting because it seems like these past few years, there has been like a higher consciousness in people where they are, talking about things they never talked about before, and it's just so wild how it's just coming out in so many different ways. You saw
I would like to show you something. I want to show you a painting.
Okay.
And I'm in my shorts, so don't worry.
Okay. Right.
I'm not in my underwear.
Oh no.
This is one I did about the ETs. So I'll just put it over here. This one is called Invasion. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I'll bring it close.
Yeah, bring a little closer. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, I love that. That is so beautifully done. Is that acrylic or oil or?
It's acrylic.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. Do you make?
I don't have a lot of these. I have 2 in the series. I sent you one.
Right.
With the self-portrait.
That's beautiful. Do you make prints of these?
I have a company. I can have prints made. Yes. Oh,
because that's beautiful. I could see people really liking that one too. Beautiful work. Now, is that going to be in Vegas, or you can just purely do flowers?
Well, I have so many. I did a whole series of the flowers that I want to, try to sell and make room for the new stuff that I'm doing. See, now I'm doing these.
That's beautiful too. Yeah, just truly.
That's only half the painting. I got to still do the bottom.
Right.
I like it the way it is.
So do I.
Maybe I'll just leave it. I got about a dozen more that I'm going to be working on.
Good. I like that size too. It's a nice size. It's not small, it's not big, it's just like a good size.
18 by 24. 18 by 24.
That's beautiful. I really like that. You're very talented.
Guy, you know, what the heck? You know?
Gotta
I
do it.
don't have any, see, I don't have any resistance to my doing my own stuff anymore.
Good. Why do you think you
I
did?
painted 25 paintings last year,
Nice.
you know, night and day,
Mhm.
and wrote 1, 2, 3 screenplays for other people
Mhm.
and 2 for myself. This
Wow.
is all in 1 year.
Wow.
I work night and day. I get up 8 o'clock in the morning. I
Mm.
work all day long on painting and writing. I switch off.
Nice.
And I go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's when I,
How wonderful to be in that creative flow and to be able to switch off too. Because when you're painting, it helps with the writing. And when you're writing, it helps with the painting. That's
you know, it's all about time, Sophia.
it is. And you're coming up with some
When time
amazing.
is running out. You got to get it in gear.
Well,
You know?
well, is it, it's, I don't know. It's like who knows, you never know what's going to happen. Right.
No, you don't know. I mean, it's hard to figure, you know.
Right. You just
And I don't even worry about it anymore. I just thank God every day I get up, and thank God every night when I go to sleep
right.
for the power, for the energy, for the creative, whatever it is.
Just that flow of being.
I'll send you double edge. You know, it's not the ordinary screenplay. You got to understand.
That's why I want to read it. It sounds exciting.
It's over the edge. You know, it's way up there. You know?
Well, and I think, I think people are opening up more to this, and what is hidden behind the veil, just like in The Wizard of Oz, behind the green curtain, who's really there?
I have a line in the script that says, see, there's a white path in heaven
Oh,
that I had to walk on to go to, believe it or not, the altar of God. See, I died when I was 39. I died.
oh, what happened?
My heart stopped.
Okay.
And I went up, you know. But it's all in the story, so I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die. You came back. I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, I came back. He sent me back. So, but I made a joke about the white path. I said, yeah, it's like the yellow brick road.
You have to keep.
Remember that in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, so much symbolism.
You know, when I look at it now, Sophia, I lived that.
Really? How
Yeah,
so?
I lived it. My life has been real,
Mhm.
but it's also been a fantasy. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a fine dividing line between what's real and what's not.
Right, right. Einstein said it's all an illusion, right? So what is truth and what is real,
These are questions we all have to deal with.
right? So how did you? So this script, is it a lot like an autobiography? Maybe is it a lot of you in it?
It's a true story, but I had to change the names.
Okay.
The reason is that I was warned that if I used real names and real places,
Right.
I would be severely punished.
Ooh.
And this was 4 years ago, I was warned by the same person that solicited me.
Oh.
He said, keep quiet.
Did that person look the same as when you first met him or her?
She
She?
didn't age like I did, I'll tell you that.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently traveling,
Right. In space.
she's gone now. She's out there again.
Well, I can't wait
She was married to one of the aliens.
well, I know they have different names for different groups, like Palladians and Arcturians and
I have no clue as to who they are,
right.
but I know they're nasty.
Ooh.
They're not nice. At least they weren't nice to me. But, you know, I can understand why they weren't nice to me because I said no. You know, they gave me a choice and I didn't agree with them, you know.
Do you think there is a more benevolent group out there who is
Well,
fighting these
they're
people?
benevolent, you know, I mean, but they weren't nice to me.
Yeah,
But they didn't harm me personally, they harmed my car.
yeah,
But I think that if I went out and, you know, revealed where they are
right.
and really gave up their base and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the deception that they're running, you know, to keep people from knowing who they really are, I would be in big trouble.
Do you think there are other people out there trying to expose them?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Now, all right. So, say the script, say it gets turned into a movie. You know, do you think there'd be more of an interest for people to try to discover who they are, to reveal them, or do you think it'll be taken just as another movie?
Another fantasy movie, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I had to do it that way. You understand?
Yeah, I think more disclosures in movies, you know, and people just when they start seeing, you know, start thinking about it, you know, I
It
think
works on the subconscious in the
right,
back. You know, it sneaks in, you know. They're
right,
being entertained, but at the same time, messages are coming.
right. You
So
know,
why not put the truth in a way that it opens up a little door like this so that they have a peek through it to reality,
right.
or the irreality, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I think that's why we as screenwriters have a responsibility because of that subconscious awareness. Whatever we put on screen, I think really whatever we put out there, you know, affects people in different ways. So like take War of the World, for example. You know, that kind of movie makes like every alien seem like a bad guy. You know, it's like they're gonna kill us no matter what. But what if there are, you know, extraterrestrials or other beings that are wanting to help or
The ones that I ran into in my life, I've had other contacts. I had a contact in 1979 in Hopewell, New Jersey, near Princeton, when they were having all those sightings back then in the late 70s.
yeah.
And they took me on board, but they were human.
So
They were, it was strange. They were from the future, I guess. They're time travelers.
were they projecting themselves or like holographic or actual?
So they were actually, they took me on board and it was like instant, like Star Trek, you know,
Right.
and you're right there. And it was like a living room. There was no technology at all. And
Wow.
they were a couple. They were tall and blonde and
Okay.
very good looking. She was beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And I said, my first thought was, I hope they don't eat me. You know, I mean, what did I know? I said, I hope they don't eat me. And in my mind, I heard, we're not here to eat you. We love you like a son. We've been watching you your whole life.
uh-huh. Wow.
And the reason we have you here now is we're going to give you information that'll save you later on from
Wow.
a lot of trouble.
And
And then next thing I know is I was back inside the cab.
so what information did,
What the heck just happened?
right?
You know?
So did you take their advice?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the question has always been that I had
Uh-huh.
is why me?
Well, why not you?
Remember that little parlay?
Uh-huh.
Just remember, keep that in your mind when you read the screenplay. Okay,
Okay, I can't wait. I'm really excited to read it.
that's the end of the screenplay.
Wow.
Why not?
Yeah. How exciting, Matt.
Yeah, I think this is a trip. And, I don't expect it to be understood.
Right,
But see, it's not about understanding.
right.
It's about expression.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I expressed it is the only way I could express it without getting myself knocked off.
Right.
If they would, I'm sure. If I exposed them, they'd
Right.
take me out. I'd have a car accident, something.
But why do you think they don't want to be exposed? Why do you think they don't want to be known?
For the very reason that all the belief systems would crumble.
But belief systems change all the time over time, don't they?
Not the religions.
Well, huh.
See, the most difficult thing for us as people
Right.
is the realization it has nothing to do with us,
Yeah.
and we really can't affect it in any way.
Right.
Bigger than us.
Right.
I mean, look at life, right? Look at death. Death, they come and they take us out one at a time, all over the world. You know what kind of a task that is? You ever think of it that way, as a task?
I never thought of it as a task. I always just kind of thought it, I see it like a flower. A flower, blooms and then it withers away and then flies away. And I kind of figure that's what happens.
I don't want to get into it, but it's deeper. It's much deeper. And it's a system that's in place that doesn't necessarily have to be in place. That's the point. See, if you look in the Bible,
Right.
there were guys that lived to 500, 600 years,
Right.
but they're not allowing that to happen. Right?
And it kind of makes you wonder why. Yeah.
Why? Because it's too crowded, for them. And they have to keep the population. Yeah.
To give other souls a chance to have this experience of life, or
I don't know, but that's what the wars, disease, all that stuff is all about. See, it's bigger than we.
right.
Big. And I don't want to get into it too much because it's crazy.
But as a writer, though, the possibilities of these different avenues to go down is exciting.
They're endless. It's all in here, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds very exciting. But just
I'm going to send it to you, and I would really like just for you to enjoy it and go on the trip.
Okay.
And tell me if you got goosebumps.
All right. I'm
I just finished designing a new cover for my book. I'll show that to you before we go any further. Oh, and this was a show I had. I moved in here 6 or 8 months ago, and everything's still in boxes.
Okay.
But this is the show I had in Seattle in the 80s.
Oh, beautiful celebration.
That's my painting right there. See it?
Oh, can you put it a little higher up? Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks gorgeous. How big is that? That is beautiful.
That's a big one. That's 24 by 36.
Okay, nice.
I sold it. I don't have it anymore. I only have photographs.
Okay.
Good.
It's beautiful.
I tried to, in putting together that, bio. I mean,
There's
I let people on my bio. You know what I mean? I don't need to go through all that crap that they do today. I mean, today you got to pitch everything. You got to do this, you got to do that. I'm not one of those guys.
Right.
If you like me and you like my stuff,
let's work together.
Make a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work together. I just finished. I did 2 scripts with Robert Bralva. Robert Brown was a big stunt man and stunt producer.
Okay.
He did, those TV shows with the cars, all of those back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, It was big. We did 2 scripts together. One is called Once a Hero. And the other one's called The Conduit, which is about the battle between human intelligence and artificial intelligence. Now that one is way out on the edge.
Well, that sounds perfect for today's times, though, because that's what we're facing.
Yeah, well, I sent it out to places, and we've got to see what happens.
Wow. Can I read that one to you? That sounds exciting.
Yeah. But I'll send you this one first.
Yeah, I can't wait to read this one.
This is I think probably the furthest out script that I ever wrote.
Wow.
And I did a movie called Dance to the Blue Tattoo.
Ooh, that's a cool title.
About Xibalba and the Mexicans and all that stuff,
Wow.
I'm doing that with Del Weston.
Oh, good. When are you doing that? When is the production?
When we raise the money, it's like 30 million, 50 million. We got to get, that's not easy.
Right.
Especially when you're an independent.
Right. Well, anything is possible.
Well, today, see, all the writers, they want to write, 2 people sitting in one room, easy to film.
No budget.
No budget.
Yeah.
But that's not me.
Right.
I don't care about the production.
Oh.
The creation is what I care about.
Right.
It's without us, without the creators.
Right.
There's no production.
Exactly.
Whether there's money or there isn't any money. Anybody could take a camera and go out and film.
Right. But
it's what you film, see, and how you film it, and what the idea is behind the film. And yet the writers are treated like crap.
Yeah.
But you see, I don't allow them to treat me like crap. I tell them to go, if they do that.
Yeah. Because you don't have that. No.
I'm Italian, I like a foot on my head. You know what I mean?
Wow. I am so glad to talk with you, Matt. This is exciting. And I know I could see so many stories inside of you, and I want to hear those stories and I want to read those stories. And I'm so glad that you're able to put them into story.
I want to show you that my work with Del West. All right. Can I run in quickly? You got one more minute?
Please do. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
All right. Because this, I think, is an epitome of this is the new cover for the book.
Ooh, that looks gorgeous. I love it. That looks awesome. That's very cool. That's a great cover.
Yeah, and I designed that, me.
Beautiful work.
For the publishing company. They sent me one that was so terrible. And I said, hey, you want to do business with me, you got to do it this way.
Good.
So this is what Double Edge is based upon. Yeah, but let me get this other thing. Hold on a minute.
Oh, sure thing.
This is the part of Del West and Sophia that people don't see.
Yeah.
We put together this.
Oh, wow. That looks awesome. Wow. That's your pitch book?
Yeah, it's the pitch book.
That looks gorgeous.
This is I designed this one with the smoke coming out of her mouth.
Wait, what is coming out? I can't quite tell what is. Oh,
smoke. The red smoke coming out of her mouth.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
She's the main character. This is not her specific,
Right.
but she's an MMA fighter.
Can you put a little higher up so I can see more at the, oh, wow. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks so cool. Wow.
Yeah, we did this in a week, me and Dell.
Very
Put this
cool.
together. So you talk about creative. This is the creative side
Right.
of AOF.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these pages. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Beautiful. Wow. That is truly stunning. This sounds like it's going to be a very exciting film.
Oh, the script is. I had the guy from Blue Cat
Read it.
contacted me after he said, listen, I'm not even going to put this in the competition. I said, that's all right. I don't care about that. He said, but I want to tell you, this is the most exciting beginning I've read in 20 years.
So why did he not want to put in the competition if he?
I didn't really want it to, because it's already in pre-production.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I mean, why, I
Right.
said, don't bother with it. But he said he loved the beginning. He said he could not, it scared the hell right out of him.
Good.
And I said, great.
Good. You are an artist. No.
Well, I don't know about how much of an artist I am, but I work hard at it.
Oh,
And I try to, when I write a script, I write it with the idea of me as the audience.
right.
See, and if it's boring to me, it's going to be boring to everybody else.
Exactly.
So if you don't rock them at the start,
Forget.
you don't care. I don't care how good the movie is.
Right.
You got to rock them at the start.
Exactly.
So in to the Blue Tattoo, I wrote this beginning of so spaced out,
Wow.
It takes place on the top of the pyramid in Tulum, Mexico,
Ooh.
at the ruins, on the Caribbean. And they're dancing, and there's a sacrifice going on.
Wow. Okay.
And the main character is the one that's seeing through the eyes of the person being sacrificed.
Ooh. Ooh. I just got chilled on that one.
Yeah, it's a chili. Chili as the knife is the same.
Wow. Wow. I can't wait to read that one. Oh, Matt, this is exciting.
I have a bunch. I have a bunch of them,
Right.
I like writing crime too. I wrote some really good crime. Like the one I did for The Sopranos, but it was too late. They already had it all locked up. It was
Right.
called, I did it for Tony.
Mhm.
It was called, what was the name of that? Hold on. Spit and Image,
Okay.
where he has a daughter
Mhm.
that he doesn't know
Ah.
by a girl that he was messing around with in high school.
Mhm.
It comes back as an attack, the mother's little
Right.
sword wielding, she wants to take Tony down.
Uh-huh.
At this time in his life, Tony's having problems with his wife.
Mhm.
He's having problems with his girlfriends, all the women in his life are turning against him. And who shows up
Another woman.
but the daughter with the FBI behind
Oh, wow. That
her?
sounds like,
So they loved that script, but it was too late.
wow. Well, hopefully it can be turned into something else. I don't know. But it sounds like you have so many stories that are just waiting to be put out there. So.
Yeah, I got some really easy ones to make. Not all of them are $50 million movies.
Right. Well, I look.
I write. I can't worry about money.
Right.
I just creativity. If somebody wants to spend the money, fine. If they don't, fine.
Just stay in that creative flow. Yeah. So when are you heading out to Vegas?
I'm coming down on the 27th.
Okay.
I'm going to fly down.
Okay.
See, I have to tell you something. I'm a cancer survivor so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a dead man. I have stage 4 advanced cancer with the bones and prostate. And they wrote me off 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But here I am.
And here you are. And you're still creating. It's not your time yet, Matt.
I could talk about it now. You know, before I actually died twice.
What was the second time?
The second time, the first time was when it hit me in 2018. I just went out and he sent me back.
When your wife died?
Huh?
Was that about the time when your wife died?
Right after my wife died. That's when I got sick.
Yeah. Was that?
Because we were a team. We worked together for 35 years.
Yeah.
It was really hard on me.
Yeah.
I lost the best friend I ever had.
Yeah.
She was to the AOF. Everybody knows.
Oh.
Yeah, she was great.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But,
That's
it's life. I have to go on, and going on and survived it. So far, I'm still alive. I couldn't walk. I was bedridden. It was down to 130 pounds.
wow.
But here I am. I weigh 173. I walk without a cane. I'm active. I write. My PSA score goes up and down, up and down.
But you're going to Vegas. You are going to Vegas, and
absolutely, of course, I'm flying out.
Yeah, good. Are you staying at the Rio, or where will you be staying at?
Oh, I'm going to stay with Dell and Teresa.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I really can't stay in a hotel. It's the food.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't eat junk food. So I have to be able to shop and get my diet. I eat a lot of spinach. I eat a lot of, fruit and vegetables. But I also have to eat organic meat.
Okay.
And chicken.
Right. Take
care of my blood.
Right.
Yeah. So things are in a balance. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. And the time keeps passing.
Right.
I feel better now than I felt a year ago. I felt better a year ago than I felt the year before that. Yeah, so right. I have to say it's bigger than me.
Right.
I'm here for a reason.
You are.
That's to complete stuff.
Yes.
Finish everything in my life before I check out. And that's going to take me years.
Exactly. Well, you have a lot to do. I mean, people need to hear your stories. So it's I'm super excited to read your scripts.
I'm going to send it to you right afterwards, And
I look forward to seeing you in Vegas and seeing your work in person and meeting you in person. And
what I need to know about the art, right, is I got to ship it down to Dell.
Yeah.
So I need to know how many paintings you guys want. Then I'll do it. I'll send it down. But I need to know that.
Right.
1 or 2, you want 10, you want 20.
Yeah.
If it's 20, I got to get a big box in the truck. And I'll do it. I'll send it down.
Well,
I want to get it going because I got a lot of stuff to complete.
Right. Yeah. So, those are questions I'm asking too. But as soon as I know, I will definitely keep you posted. Yeah, I'm on it.
What are you into, Sophia? What do you do? What kind of writing do you do?
Well,
it's not about me,
Well, this is about you. I mean, yeah, I want to know about Matt DeGenarro. So this is all about you. But I look forward to. I'll be exhibiting some of my work with yours, which I'm very excited about, and I have some scripts. I went through a series of dancers when I first started painting, because I was a dancer when I was a kid. But now I do abstracts, and I
do what?
Abstract, yeah. And I'll send you some pictures So you'll know what your work will be with.
I went through a period where that's all I did was abstracts.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
I got too abstract,
But it's you just go in this flow.
Yeah.
No, but it's
Well, you see what I'm into now,
I love it.
I'm gonna do a whole. I'll bring these down when they're done.
Yeah, I love those. Those are gorgeous, and even in Vegas, I think the UFO stuff will do really well. And if you don't want to sell originals, print will go really hot too. So
And florals. If you look at the florals,
they're
I love
gorgeous. They're beautiful.
And I do nudes too, but I don't.
Do you use models or just by memory or
models? I used to go down to the local art place where they had the models, and I do the figure drawings, and then put them on canvas. But I don't think the show should be nude ladies.
Not for this one. Not for this. Yeah, this can be for another show. There's not
another show somewhere else, but
right.
Not with the girls. I don't know.
Right. There'll be a pretty eclectic group of people, so it's going to be very immersive in a lot of different levels. So it'll be very exciting, and
So please, in the next week or so, let me know how many so I can get them shipped off.
Okay.
It's a big deal, I got to package them, and
yeah.
I'll have a little black frame around them,
okay.
But no glass.
Okay. All right, that's good. So don't worry about weight.
The glass makes everything. It protects them, but I'll use a clear gel or something on them to keep them safe.
Okay, good. And they'll,
I would like to read something of yours too.
All right. Well, I have a little crime thriller. I can send it away if you're interested in reading it, and I have a producer interested in it.
I did one too this year called Subtle Impact.
Ooh, I like that. Great title. I really like that title.
Yeah, it's about two female lawyers.
Ooh, I work with lawyers.
Right. This is a judge and a lawyer for, like the mob.
Right. Ooh.
In law school, they go to a Catholic law school. One is from an Ivy League school, and the other one is, of course, they have an enmity that begins in law school.
Right.
And they just so happen to work in the same community. And the ending, of course, is really shocking.
Oh, gotta have a shocking ending. I love it.
And it's a true story. The only thing I did was I changed it from two male lawyers to two female.
Smart.
Right now, women are powerful.
We've always been powerful. Women have always been powerful.
Right, but I'm talking about in the entertainment industry.
Right. That's true.
They were figureheads at one time, Sure, they had nice bodies and stuff, but now to honor them, you've got to give them roles that they deserve,
Right.
That are really on the edge. That's what I like to write, using women as leads. It's really great.
Well, I cannot wait to read your work, Matt, and it's very.
I can't wait to read yours.
Well, thank you, and I'm so glad we're going to be exhibiting our artwork together, and that's going to be.
You look like one of my cousins.
I do. I have that Italian look, huh?
Yeah, you do.
That sometimes.
You have a little bit of Italian in you?
No, I don't. It's all Mexican and French and some German and a little bit of this. And
I have German and a little English. We're all from all over the place.
Right.
I'm actually part Jewish.
Okay. Well, okay. See, now, when people say I'm part Jewish, Jewish is a religion. It's not a race, right? It's a practice. It's a way of life, isn't it?
Well, it's also from the Middle East. So the gene pool.
Right. So so you can be from Israel, and just because you're from Israel doesn't mean you're Jewish, right?
No.
Right. So.
And you can be from Jersey, but that don't mean you're Jewish either.
Right.
Or Italian.
Italian. I can't wait to hear your stories from.
See, it's funny that you say you have Spanish, because the Jewish in me came from Spain.
Right.
During what was called the diaspora, or the diaspora, I don't know how to pronounce it. And they migrated to Italy and married into the family.
Wow.
They're called, the name was Recanati.
Recanati. Now that sounds like a cool title. Recanati.
Recanati is the name of a wine that's made. The family makes wine on the Sea of Galilee.
Ooh.
And they were also in Hoboken.
Mm.
You know, part of my family.
You have a lot of stories to write, my friend. A lot of stories. This is so.
I remember Nicky Recanati, you know. Yeah. And we used to call him Naki Recanuti. So, you know, I love Mexico. I used to live in Florida, and I would go down to, I didn't like Cancun, but I liked south of Cancun.
Right.
On the Caribbean.
Right. Beautiful. I know.
So it's called Tulum, which was the first Mayan resort on the Caribbean. It's out of this world. Nice. Oof.
Wow.
The food is perfect. The people are friendly. You know, the water is bright blue.
Perfect.
I always wanted to move there and live on top of one of the pyramids, you know, make a little house up there on top of the pyramid.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So many things to do. You never know, right? You never know. Well, Matt.
It'd be exciting to see you.
Well, I look forward to seeing you in just about 3 weeks now. Well, just a little over 3 weeks. So thank you so very much for your time. I would love to interview you again after our Vegas experience to, you know, do this again. And
we'll sit down and have coffee together.
I would love that.
A meal together, you know, whatever. You know.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
I don't drink.
Oh, good. Not good for you anyway.
No, the sugar, you know, is not good.
Exactly.
So I watch my diet, but I'll sit with people and
have a nice espresso.
That much wine.
Okay. But I love coffee, so.
Yeah, me too. I'm a coffee person. See?
Right? Straight black. Yeah, I got my coffee too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Anyway,
my daughter gave me this. It's called Dad Fuel.
You know it. It works. That's awesome.
Yeah, she lives downstairs.
Uh-huh.
An apartment downstairs with her husband.
Nice.
And
do they have
comes up once in a while and helps me with the computer.
Oh, good.
You know, it's a technological world, you know, and I'm a Stone Age guy.
Well, but you're a creator, you know, so, you know, throw anything at you.
Use all the programs, but that's about it.
Okay.
You know?
See, you got it. You got that.
I did this. I got Zoom.
Which I'm so glad you did. And we're going to definitely do this again.
All right. I'd love to.
Yeah, we definitely will. All right. So I have to go, but thank you so very much, Matt. Appreciate it. Hey, do you have a website?
It's coming up. I'm having it made. It's called My Art DG.
Okay. My Art DG. All right. So we'll take a look out for that. And
watch for it. I can't do that stuff. So it's being done by Mark Goldman.
Okay, good.
The brother of Robert Goldman, you know,
right.
Hangs out with Dell and all the karate guys.
Right. You know. Well, you have some great stuff happening, and I'm very excited. And I'm so glad we were able to connect. You know, so thank you. Thank you very much,
I
Matt.
can't wait to do that role, Uncle Bonnie Money. I wrote some funny lines in there for me, you know.
Well, perfect. I can't wait to see it. This is awesome. You know, do it. You know, it's like, I'm so glad you're just doing it. All right, my dear. Well, thank you so very much. I will see you in Vegas, baby.